Hey everybody, welcome to Sheri's Kitchen. Yeah, I don't do very many videos because I don't like myself on video, but I thought I would show you guys a little bit about my meal prep. So, meal prep. A couple of different ways that you can do it. One is you can have all your meals prepared in containers so that you have your lunch or dinner kind of all together in one container ready to go. I do it that way sometimes, and Andrew has shown us a video and also showed us a nice picture yesterday of the way he does it like that. So you guys got a good example of that. So I thought I would show you the other way that I typically meal prep, and Anna and I do it this way a lot. And I kind of call it power cooking. And usually I do this on Sunday, but yeah, I wasn't really up to it yesterday. Today, though, the hubby was out of town for work, so I spent an hour and 35 minutes cooking all of this lovely stuff. So let me show you. What this power cooking is cooking items in bulk and then not really having a cohesive meal put together per se, but just having a bunch of cooked food already in the refrigerator. So for example, I made a bunch of grilled chicken. So I have 3 containers of grilled chicken, and then I will freeze some of that. Then I've got broiled sweet potato fries, which are a must for me every week. They're really good. And then I always do a fish or a seafood item. This week I did salmon. I grilled some salmon fillets and I put some different seasoning blends on there. I'll show you what I put on there here in a second. The chicken, I usually do rosemary and olive oil. And then I broiled Brussels sprouts. Can you see? Yeah. Brussels sprouts and asparagus. So what I do when I go to eat these at night, especially, is I will take them and put them in my toaster oven and reheat them back up. So they're pretty much already done, but I like to crisp them up because I like them like really crispy before I go to eat them. And then this is spaghetti squash I had prepped already from last week. I didn't want to prep anymore because I'm burnt out on it. So, but I just wanted to show you. And then I usually typically will do like a salad topping or a meat topping, and sometimes it's chickpeas. A lot of times it's this sauteed onions and peppers. Onions and mushrooms. And I saute onions and mushrooms in butter and salt, and I love it. So anyway, let me take you to my refrigerator. And in my refrigerator, I will have things like already cut up rainbow kale, spinach. This is one of my absolute favorites. I like to make salads with this. This is, the nickname of it is called dinosaur kale. But it's one of my favorites. And then I always have like salad toppings, tomatoes, and green onions. And then I cut up some onions today for tuna fish. I also, get in there. I also have fresh fruit like apples, And look at these cute little avocados I got. They're adorable. I've never seen one this small before, which is perfect. You should never have more than a half an avocado in a sitting. Not that you should never have. Let me take that back. It's better to have a half an avocado in one sitting. So those little baby ones are about a half, so it's perfect. What else do I have? Yep, I got my almond milk at the grocery store. I've got my gluten-free bread, eggs. So what I'll typically do at night with all my prepped food is I'll take a bed of greens, arugula or the kale, and then I'll put my cooked vegetables on top, whatever I'm feeling. And then I'll add some of my protein, whatever my protein is. And then, unfortunately for me, I have an egg sensitivity, so I don't eat eggs for breakfast, but I eat chicken for breakfast. Yes, it gets old and boring. So I have usually chicken and sweet potatoes for breakfast. Let's see what else we have in here. And so I'll always have on stock my greens, so I keep them in glass jars so I can make those up at night. I always have a gluten-free pasta available for the honey. I don't eat it, but he does. These are great if you've never had these before. Epic bars. This was my favorite, chicken sriracha. The salmon, smoked salmon, it's okay. Also, I think I've gotten a lot of you guys turned on to these, but gluten-free rice crackers made by Blue Diamond. Can you see that? Yeah. And then gluten-free oats are a must. And you're like, why gluten-free? Aren't oats already gluten-free? Nope, they're not. They are processed and they add wheat to them, so make sure you get gluten-free oats. What else can I show you guys? Oh, I have quinoa in individual frozen packets. Oh, this one's rice. So I have rice and quinoa. So this is already made up rice, because rice takes about, 45 minutes to make it. So why not make a big in bulk and separate out a portion size into a Ziploc bag, and then the night before you're like, oh, I feel like having rice in my veggie chicken bowl tomorrow night for dinner. And there you go. You just have it ready for you. You don't have to cook anything. I'm sort of like efficiently lazy. Is what I would call myself. I like being efficient with my time, and so I'm always constantly looking for examples and things of how to help myself be more efficient. I always have my yogurt on hand. I normally get 2 or 4%. This one is 0%. I would suggest you guys use 2%. Let's see, what else do I have? Always have almond butter on hand. So this is my favorite brand. I think I've told you guys, some of y'all, use Vitacost to order dry goods, healthy dry goods. It's a lifesaver for budget, and it comes right to your door. So it doesn't get any better than that. I've got all my seasonings and stuff over here, and this is a really good oil to use if you don't want to use olive oil all the time. And this has got a higher heat ratio, so this is actually fractionated coconut oil, or MCT oil, and there's a lot of studies out that say it's good for the brain, but in all fairness and with complete visibility, all omega-3 and omega-9s are going to be excellent for your health. So any way that you can get that into your system is what we want to be shooting for. So the MCT oil is a good way to do that. Olive oil is a good way to do that. The coconut butter is a great way to do that. Ghee is a great way to do that. So all my the things I cook are either made in MCT oil, olive oil, coconut butter, or ghee. Actually, the coconut butter I tend to eat cold and not heated. I have always a spice drawer here for the fish that I told you I was going to tell you what was on that. I put ground ginger. I put this really cool seasoning thing I found by Chop House. It's for seafood. It's got like coriander and salt and pepper, dill. And I added my extra coriander. I harvest my own coriander. Coriander is actually from cilantro seeds. That's what coriander is. There you go. Little tip for the day. And then I had, what else did I put on it? Oh, garlic powder, salt, turmeric. I add turmeric to anything and everything that I possibly can. Turmeric is kind of like a little bit of a sweetish bitter taste, if that makes sense. You'll have to kind of taste it. If you like Indian food, a lot of Indian food is in it. But turmeric is good for your anti-inflammatory. It's a natural, it's like Motrin, an anti-inflammatory, except for all natural. Speaking of omega-3s, I have on my counter here, this is my smoothie bar. As you can see, I've got all my different protein powders and good stuff. But this is my flaxseed and chia seeds, and I take them and I mix them up together, and I add these to anything and everything, like the yogurt or my smoothie. So this is really great to help you with your boost of omega-3s. Actually, flaxseed or flaxseed oil, which I don't have any flaxseed oil, I really need to get some, is one of the best ways that you can get in omega-3s. So that's meal prep, Sheri's refrigerator, pantry, my oils, spices, my smoothie bar, and then here's my oil and vinegar bar. Can you see that? Not great with a camera. So I've got avocado oil. This is olive oil that my mom gets me from Italy every Christmas. It's to die for. This is just regular balsamic vinegar. Then I have these fun ones. This is olive oil that's got cilantro infused in it. And this is a espresso balsamic vinegar that's really yummy. This is a balsamic glaze I like to put on fish. Apple cider vinegar is a must. More spices. This is truffle oil, which is, truffle is a mushroom. And then rice wine vinegar I use for, usually a lot of times for making like a dressing or something. I don't tend to use it unless I'm making something with it. So those are my oils. So anyway, the reason why I'm showing you kind of all this stuff is because healthy doesn't have to be boring. Healthy can be anything you make it. So I wanted to just give you some different ideas about meal prep. And you don't always have to have the meal ready to go. You can just have food in bulk in your refrigerator, and that way you can make up meals every day and just whatever your fancy is that day. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great night. This is way longer than I wanted it to be, sorry. Happy Monday.